Hey guys.
Hey!
Last 2 years fixing up this sailboat to sail around the world. Then stumbled across our dream boat and thought it'd be an easy upgrade. Welcome to Spirit Animal. Real life.
If you try to trace the story of Spirit Animal in a straight line, it almost doesn't make sense. It's less of a planned journey and more like a series of bold decisions stacked on top of each other, each one riskier than the last. At the center of it all is Rafael, Raf, someone who has always had a habit of jumping first and figuring things out later. Long before sailboats and YouTube, Raf was just a kid in the small Florida towns of Auburndale and Winter Haven, running around lakes with a fishing pole in his hand. Fishing wasn't just a hobby, it was part of his identity. By the time he was 7, he was biking to school smelling like bass after early morning solo trips. That same mindset showed up again when he was 12, digging up an old aluminum John boat from his grandmother's yard and restoring it himself. But for a while, his life went in a completely different direction. Football took over. He became a high school quarterback, earned a spot at Jacksonville University, and later transferred to the University of Central Florida, where he fought his way onto the team against steep odds. He even made it to second-string quarterback. On paper, everything was lining up for a conventional path, but it wasn't the life he actually wanted. That realization didn't come with a backup plan. Instead, Raf stepped away and leaned into something far less predictable. He graduated with a business degree, then spent years working as a handyman, learning trades the hard way, through mistakes and persistence. It took about 5 years before things started to click, eventually earning a contractor's license and building a reputation for high-end remodeling work. That idea had been sitting in the back of his mind since a trip to the Bahamas during college. Watching sailboats glide past sparked something. It wasn't just about sailing, it was about freedom and a different way of living. Without overthinking it, Raf decided he would one day sail the world. He didn't research it much, he just worked, saved, and assumed he'd figure it out later. In 2020, Raf and his friend Ben bought a 39-foot catamaran with zero sailing experience between them. Within hours of owning it, they were offshore, pulling lines until the boat started moving under wind power. After a quick refit in Key West, they set sail into the Caribbean, right in the middle of hurricane season. What followed wasn't smooth. They dealt with mechanical failures, rebuilt engines, encountered sharks, and lived through months at sea with minimal experience. Raf even battled saguaro fish poisoning for 6 months. But this is where Spirit Animal really began to take shape. Not as a polished sailing channel, but as a raw look at learning everything the hard way. Then came a turning point. In Georgetown, Bahamas, they met a group of sailors, including Sasha. Unlike Raf, her connection to the ocean had been there from the start. She grew up around boats, sailing with her family, and later pursued a degree in animal sciences while holding on to the dream of sailing the world. When their paths crossed with Raf's, things clicked in a way that went beyond just sailing. Over the next several months, they traveled together through the Caribbean, building not just experience but a partnership that would redefine the channel. When Raf's original business partner decided to leave boat life, it opened the door for something new. Raf found another boat, and within days he and Sasha were sailing it together, navigating long stretches at sea and even discovering serious issues with the boat. Instead of walking away, they kept going. That decision captures what Spirit Animal really is. It's not about perfect sailing or carefully planned adventures. It's about figuring things out in real time, fixing problems as they come, and choosing to push forward even when things don't go as expected. And you can still see that same mindset in their current videos. Today, the channel has grown into more than just videos, with income from Patreon, merchandise, and YouTube bringing their estimated net worth to around $300,000 to $600,000. But what really sets their story apart is how it all started. Not with a perfect plan, but with a decision to just go for it and figure things out along the way.